Hello guys, and welcome to yet another video in this Vlogmas series. This series is focused on the Forces of War website, which is a Flames of War list builder. We are using 100 points from the book, so we're not using dynamic. If you're using mid-war, we are going to cover mid-war and late-war lists. So today's video is going to focus on the British Royal Marine Commandos, as requested by one of you fantastic fans. So in order to get a list going for that, we're going to go to New Force. We're going to go down to, I believe they are in D-Day British, and we can see we've got the Commando Troop here. So we're going to go ahead and hit that one. So with this, I'm assuming we're going to focus on D-Day, just because the Royal Marines played a huge part in D-Day. I think it's probably one of their biggest operations in the Second World War. So we can go Commando Troop HQ, and we're going to add 2 for 3 points. In here, they are fearless, motivated, and veteran with their skill, which you would expect. So they are the best of the best, cream of the crop. They assault on a 2+, they are incredibly deadly, as the title there suggests. They are hit on a 4+, which is great, and they save with your traditional 3. The Sten SMG is like all of SMGs that we've seen in the past, so it's hold of rate of fire 3 whilst and moving, anti-tank of 1, but their rate of fire does go to 1 when they are pinned. So with that, we can go ahead and hit save, which I like to forget a lot of time, and these are 3 points. So the stats remain exactly the same for their sections. For this one, we can get 7 Bren gun and rifle teams, 1 PA and 1 2-inch mortar for 13 points, or for 2 less stands, you can get it for 10 points. The Bren gun and rifle team is a rate of fire of 2 when halted and 1 when moving. The PA is 1 both times, anti-tank of 10, and a firepower of 5+, but they assault on a 3+, unlike the 2+, as well the normal section get, and the PA is slow firing. The 2-inch mortar has anti-tank of 2 and firepower of 4+, and it assaults on a 3+ again as well. It too is also slow firing. So for those that are unfamiliar, slow firing just adds a 1+ to hit when you're moving that particular stand. So I think for this we're going to go ahead and hit 7 for 13 points. We can go ahead and hit save, which again I like to forget to do, almost did it then as well. And because this is a black box, we have to do the same, and I think for the sake of 3 points, let's get as many infantry stands on the table as humanly possible. So that's 13 points there, so we're already up to 29 points. So now the deciding factor is, do we want to add in an additional infantry section, or do we want to add in some support sections? So let's have a look what we can get for the machine gun sections. Whoa, 6 MMGs for 10 points. That is tasty. Very, very tasty. That will put down a lot of firepower. So they are fearless 3+, veteran 3+, but they're heavy weapons, so they assault on a 4+. So they're carrying those machine guns into assault. Stats remain the same, but they can fire with bombardments, anti-tank of 1 and firepower of 6. But this will also give you just that extra bit of range. Well, quite a lot of range, to an extra 24 inches to bombard instead of just sitting idle. 6 for 10 or 3 for 5. That is interesting. 6 Vickers machine guns. This would almost act as a platoon on its own, minus like the PA, and you'd get a ton of dice. Let's go with 10 just to see, and then we go to the 3-inch mortar section. So 6 for 12 points, or 3 for 6 points. Anti-tank of 1, firepower of 4+. So if we pick the 6 guns, we can actually follow the rule of if the artillery unit has 5 or more weapons firing, you must re-roll failed rolls to hit. So you do get that additional roll. So 6 mortars is actually really appealing, especially with these stats. Because this is a commando themed force, it is very tempting to put 6 of these in here. So let's chuck 6 of these in here. So we're going to an infantry based list, obviously. That leaves us with 49 points. Now I know that they had centaur support, 4 for 20 points. Their stats aren't as good. They're confident and trained. They're both on 4+, but they do remount on a 3+. Front armor 6, side and rear 4, so that's not too bad. Your typical sort of medium tank. The 95mm has a artillery bombardment of anti-tank 3 and firepower 3+, but then has an anti-tank of 8 and a firepower of 2. Again, it's got that slow firing. Yes, that's interesting. Do we want to put 20 points onto that? That would leave us with 29 points to play with. What about some M10s? 4 M10s with 17 pounds. Now these are a little bit more appealing. They don't have any HE though, but that's okay. 18 points will give you confident 4, trained 4, counter-attack obviously no good, assault no good, front of 5, so still not terrible. It might be able to get a couple of bounces if it's lucky. Side and rear of 2 and top of 0, obviously it's open top. Anti-tank of 14 if we take the 17 pounder for the sake of 2 points. 18 versus 16 for the 4. I think it'd be crazy not to take the 17 pounder for that extra 80, because that could be the difference between just straight up penetrating it without having to take an armor save. No HE, so you can't fire at infantry's early vehicles. I'm going to take 4 of those. So that gives us 69 pounds. I think that's actually pretty good value for money. We have got the 6 mortars. Now, the Crocodile Flame Tank platoon did appeal to me last time. That's 21 points. That would leave us with 90. Main tank of 10, front armor of 11, side and rear of 8. So that would be good at protecting those commandos, assaulting. The flamethrower aspect of it is also appealing if you have to assault like a lot of infantry. The stats are pretty good. Confident 4, remount on a 3+, a train of 4, front 11, side and rear 8. It's going to take a lot to deal with those. But the flip side to that would be about some Cromwells. These act as scout. So you can get 3 Cromwells and 17, but I don't need a 17 pounder, or you can get 3 Cromwells for 17 points. Confident and trained, they remount on a 3+, so same, front is 6, side and rear is 4, so same as those Centaurs. 28-inch range, hold roto, rate fire 1, and tank of 10, but they can also fire smoke, 3+, but you can only get 3 for 17 points. What about the Sherman D-Day Armored Troop? What does that get you? 3 for 12. And tank of 10. See, now this is a bit more appealing to me just for the lower points, and we can cram in a bit more just for the sake of having a look. What about a Sherman Armored Troop? 2 Shermans and a Firefly. We don't need the Firefly. 3 Shermans and a Firefly. I'm not going to read the stats, so I don't think I'm going to go for those. Churchill Armoured Troop. 3 Churchills with a 75mm for 18 points. And you can replace one for late. See, those stats are pretty good. 18 points though. 18 points. I think the Churchill is going to be better for infantry, but then we're going to have to go up to 20 points. Oh, you can also take the 6 pounder with that one for 18 points. Front armor of 9. Let's go with that. Save the 2 points for now. With that in mind, can we throw in a 25 pounder gun? No. 14 points for 4. You don't want to get 2. If you take 2, you'll have to reroll successful rolls to hit because it's 1 or 2 guns. So the sweet spot for that would be 3. But then if you're going to go If you got the option to go with 5, then you would go with 5 or 6. So I wouldn't recommend going with 2. So there's no point reading the stats for this, because at the moment we can't cram it in there. But if we swap those Churchills to Shermans, we might be able to. But I like the Churchills for their front armor. It means it's going to stick around for a little while longer. What's the Sexton giving us? 4 for 12. So we can cram them in. And tank of 3, firepower 4 plus. Do we need more artillery? We've got the 6 stands of mortars though. Ah, that is interesting. And we could drop 5 points on those mortars and include a heavier artillery. So yeah, maybe just with the points being a bit of a struggle, or do we go down to 3? No. Then it is mid-war. Mid-war, late-war. Do we need 6 machine gun stands? A 3-inch, 3-inch mortars for 6 points. Yeah, that's freeing up 6 points. Then we could throw in, what's the difference between Sexton is 12 points, 25 pounder field troop, 14 points. And 10, 3, 5. So the gun is exactly the same. So Sexton. What about the priest? I think the priest is going to be expensive. Yeah, 16 points. So what if we throw in the Sexton, because it's a little bit cheaper, a little bit more vulnerable being a vehicle, especially with that top armor. Fearless free, veteran free, but the counterattack is terrible, which is fine. So let's go 4 of those. That still gives us a bit of money to play with. So we throw in some armoured cars here. Let's have a look what the command cards give us. Breaching group, SAS parachute squadron command card, that would be pretty fun to take. Sexton field troop, may place field troop with Sexton troop. Has the same rating as the priest, -2. So no, okay, we're not really interested in that. Oh, what about the naval bombardment? What if we do that? Actually, what if we do that? Let's have a look. Where is that as an option? There, naval gunfire. Each shooting step, choose a formation HQ team or an observer to request a naval gunfire bombardment on a roll of 5+. They may spot for a 4-gun naval gunfire bombardment using their own skill rating and the following weapon stats: range unlimited, rate of fire is artillery, anti-tank is form, firepower is auto. For 12 points though. But these guys would have been getting naval gunfire. So do you know what? The 5 points is scary. You might only get this like once. If you roll, well, technically if you've got a six-sided game or 6-turn game, you should get this twice, I suppose. You'd think. But you probably only get it once. So for 12 points, is it worth it? If you've used this before, please drop a comment, because that would be very interesting. Do I keep it more themed? So if I went like this, save it for this one, and then we get rid of the Sexton, clear and save. At least that way nothing can be destroyed. No, guys, this is silly. I think 12 points for the chance that you might not even get it back. Realistically, when you're buying something, you want it to return its points cost. So if I'm paying 12 points for something, I want it to return 12 points or more in the game. So let's go the Sexton. I think I can do that with the Sexton, especially with infantry stands. We can plug away different platoons, and then we need some reconnaissance. Let's get some recce in here. Confident and skill is 3 each. 4 and 3. They don't afford the armor, it's nothing great, but they have the anti-tank of 7. 4+, they are overworked. The Little John adapter has no HE, but you get an additional 1 for your anti-tank. So let's go. I don't really need the Little John though. We've already got pretty heavy tanks, for the sake of not even having HE as well. No, I'm just going to go 2 for those. That leaves us with 5 points. So we've got the Churchill Armoured Troop. Let's have a look at what we've got so far. So we've got Sexton, Recce, 4 M10s, we've got 3 Churchills for 18 points, a load of infantry, plus mortars. I'm still tempted to reduce that Vickers machine gun section and maybe even just put in... Yeah, that's what I might do actually. If you're gonna do it, let's do it properly. Let's be super aggressive with this infantry. So you have 13 points like that, because these are so good. I mean, assault on a 2+. We've got 2 rounds of... Do the Shermans fire smoke? Yes, 75 mil. Okay, yeah, so you can be really aggressive with these. That's the difference between the 6-pounder and the Sherman and the 75 mil. So you'd only get 2 rounds of smoke, opposed to 3 potentially with the Churchills. So you know what? I might even disregard the 6-pounder because we've got those 17-pounders. And he's tank of 10. Late war. Panzer IVs, I think, yeah, front armor of 6. Yeah, I'm going to take the risk. So 18 points. These are going to bounce rounds anyway. These were 2 points. I reckon we should definitely get an OP in for this. The plane is 2 points. Universal carrier is 1 point. And I think the Sherman OP is 1 point. Does it have a... No, it just has an MG, but it does have good armor. Yeah, just throw the Sherman. I like the fact that the universal carrier is tiny, so it can hide easily. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the universal carrier. It's 99, and then I'm gonna throw in a lucky card because you never know when you're gonna need one of these. Lucky. And then return to formation. Let me just make sure I don't need any more of these. No, so I don't need any of those. So let's go to the force. So we've got a Commando Troop, which consists of a HQ, which is 2 stands of Stens. Commando Section, which is 7 Brendan rifle teams, 1 Piat, 1 2-inch mortar, another Commando Section, and another Commando Section. So I'm going to be very, very aggressive here. Again, attacking. Commando with a 3-inch mortar section, so that's 3 times 3-inch mortars. So that's going to be able to pin and also provide smoke. Then we've got the Sexton, so we've got 4 Sextons with 25 pounders, again pin and smoke. Universal carrier OP. Daimler armored car troops is going to give us that scout and spearhead. The 4 M10s in case somebody wants to bring Panthers or something like that, they can hopefully deal with them. And then the 3 Churchills just to protect that infantry as they're assaulting. The fact that we got 3 sections of infantry is going to give us a big boost of being able to focus on one particular objective and really pushing it hard with infantry that is really aggressive. So yeah, it could be a huge fail, but I would be really interested in taking this list. I think it's a good mix of heavy tanks and heavy infantry. Not heavy tanks, but they've got tank support. I mean, the 3 Churchills doesn't sound like a lot, but when you've got something that's going to be bouncing most German shells, if you're thinking like Panzer IVs, I think they've got an AT of like 11. Even if it was 12, front armor of 9, you're going to be saving, I think you're going to be saving more than you're going to be losing, and they remount well as well. So yeah, we got that lucky card as well. So say you just need that 1 extra dice just to go your way, then that's what's going to help. So yeah, really interested to hear your thoughts below. Sorry, I've been rambling on. Infantry lists are really tricky, especially late war. I've had success with mid-war infantry lists, but late war is really tricky when you consider the amount of tank spam and anti-aircraft, like half-track spam that people like to do. But the great thing about the community in Perth, Western Australia, is we're very much more historically themed. You very rarely see lists that are coming purely to just win, like half-track spam with a couple of King Tigers or something. You know what I mean. You've seen all the lists on the various social medias that tend to win a lot. So yeah, Be very interested to know what you think. Huge thank you goes out to my patrons and YouTube channel members. Special mention goes out to Patrick and Oscar for being those Panzer Aces and being just as good as these Churchills. We're going to leave it here, guys. Again, don't forget to let me know in the comments what formation we should look at next. Regardless of if you think I've done it correctly or not, it's always cool just to hear my thought process and how indecisive I actually am. Alright guys, that's enough for now. See you at the next one. Bye.